Hello from the other side. You probably didn't call, but I'm here anyway, so screw you. So if you're a human being and you have eyes, you probably read the title and know what I'm going to be talking about. The most generic furry video on the internet. Well, I myself am relatively new to the furry fandom. Heck, I joined this year in particular. My history of the fandom runs deeper than you probably expect. Kind of. Let me explain. So, fun fact about me, I am extremely introverted, and I've had issues with anxiety, so I've always been more of an indoor person than an outdoor person. And as such, I grew up reading a lot of books and playing a lot of games. I bring up the games in particular because growing up, I was not new to the idea of anthropomorphic creatures in general, because the main game I had played in my childhood was a game by the name of Toontown Online. And knowing how the game was just fun to play in general, I really ended up liking the designs of the characters you could create. They were unique, they had interesting looks, it was just a game I enjoyed heavily. So being accustomed to the idea didn't help when I ended up discovering werewolves. And anybody who knows me personally knows that werewolves are my favorite mythological creature ever. The lore, the designs. Even though it can never be settled if werewolves actually have tails or not, but details. Either way, I loved werewolves, and one of the best things about them for me personally were the transformation sequences. If you were to ask me why, it would be kind of difficult to explain, but I just love the detail that went into them. I pull up the American Werewolf in London transformation scene as the best example. And due to my fascination with the scenes in general, I actively looked up transformation videos online. And this is when things get interesting, because eventually one day I stumbled across a channel known as the Lagos Master, which specializes in showing a bunch of transformation scene videos of Pokemon. They showed Pokemon transformations, yes, but they also showed Anthro, which is something I was unfamiliar with at the time. And then when I got older, I fully stopped watching them because I had more important things to do with IRL. Around the age of 13, I ended up joining the Brony fandom for a bit. Anybody who was here with my early channel days would remember that, probably. Now, frankly, I can't remember how exactly, but I had heard the term furry sometime in the fandom, and then traced it back to trying to find the definition of what it was. And upon hearing certain things, I immediately decided to distance myself from ever being part of that community, because unfortunately I had come across the various stereotypes that plague the community. I then forgot they existed, at least until 2017. And 2017 was important because that was the year I discovered Zootopia. And still, to this day, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, right under Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isle of Dogs. One of the reasons I really like the movie? The designs of the characters. I really like the designs, Nick in particular. Just all of the care, respect, and fluidity of designs in general. I just fell in love with the idea of anthropomorphic animals in general after watching that movie. Of course, I couldn't be a fan of Zootopia without recognizing all of the memes that ended up surrounding the movie after its release. How it would turn your kids into a furry and all of that. And through those memes, I traced it back to the furry fandom again, and recognized all the stereotypes I had heard about it were completely false. That being said, for some reason part of me was still wary about being involved with the fandom in any means. That's kind of why I didn't consider myself part of the furry fandom for a while, even when I did get my first persona. The most involved I had been in the fandom by that time was just seeing refs of my persona people on Twitter who want to draw sketches and getting art from it. At least I hadn't considered myself part of the fandom. Not until I became friends with V Omega, at least. Sketch TV as it used to be known by. He noticed I wasn't active in the fandom, and as such he directed me to a furry server I could join, a large one at that, and I ended up joining after a few days. I was nervous at first, but everybody in the server was just so kind and welcoming. When I put in art I made, I got fair critique, people saying they actually liked it, which was new, and just, I don't really understand how to explain it, to be honest. There's a large contrast from the Brony fandom where I just felt I was there and didn't really matter much in the long run. Upon joining said server as well as getting my new main persona, the one I'm currently using now, I think that's when I began to actually consider myself as a furry. As a whole, the fandom's just fun. It actually inspired me to start drawing, which was something I hadn't really considered at all doing before now. And I've just been able to have fun, which is mostly the main thing I care about. Most of all, though, it's helped me get a little bit more open. Okay, scratch that, a lot more open. Because thanks to the fandom, and this might be news unless you heard my commentary on Keyboard, I began to realize I'm bisexual. It's something I wouldn't have realized had I not joined the fandom, and through that I ended up actually getting a boyfriend. A boyfriend by the name of Buddy a Corgi, or as I like to call him, Cutie. Sweetie. weird. Yeah, he helps me keep going, motivates me to keep on improving my craft, and is just the best thing that ever happened to me in years, and I have the furry fandom to thank for it. I could talk more about what the fandom means to me a lot more in this, but I'll just save that for a separate video. So yeah, that's the story of how I became a furry. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like, or subscribe, or give me fan. Either way, this is Jonas Smith, and have a nice day.